Sup with it, guys, you got excellent name here, back again for my week 5 game versus AZ. And looking at the team, he brings pretty much exactly what I expected. No man time was the only thing that I was a little bit surprised at, but looking at the team, there obviously wasn't really much that I would expect to drop. So right off the bat, I'm expecting a probably defensive Bulu, offensive Aerodactyl and Choice Scarf Mian Chow, fast Heatran, enough to outspeed Metagross with rocks, probably a Fizzdef, Latias, and an Assault Vest Skunk Tank. So with that in mind, I was thinking I'd probably just lead off with the Kangaskhan immediately, try to get some damage off, maybe catch the Mian Chow off guard, even though that's what I probably would expect to lead. And he leads Heatran, probably just trying to get his rocks up immediately. I just want to break the balloon here as soon as possible, get some damage off with Drain Punch, and as you can see that does quite a lot, and he just goes for a Lava Plume, no burn thankfully, doing pretty minimal damage there, and I just go for a Protect to scout whether he has Will-O-Wisp or something, and just go for it there, and just get some recovery. As he goes for a Sub, so I can see Sub Leech means that he's not Assault Vest, but he is defensive. I just want to break that Sub immediately, and then switch out into Landorus, as I don't want to get too much chip on my Metagross. I need that for Latias more than I need health on Landorus. And then I just go for a U-turn to bait the Leech Seed with the Roserade. I'm going to put it on slow real quick, but yeah, then I go back into Landorus to see what he wants to go for against Roserade. I kind of expected a switch into Heatran or Skunk Tank, but he just stays into the Nature Madness, which makes sense. He's got a sub up after all. So then I just go for the Sludge Wave as he Nature's Madnesses again. And yeah, I just recover up here, and expecting the switch, I do go for the rocks to just put some pressure on. Put it back on normal, and just go into Blastoise in case he wants to set up his own rocks. I can spin, and I can take Rat-Tail or Rapid Spin pretty easily. And then expecting him to swap again or hit me with like an Edge or something, I go back into Landorus, put the pressure on, and knowing he'll switch again, I go for the U-turn into my Metagross, and then he goes for the Roost, and I miss the Meteor Mash. This is pretty significant. Meteor Mash would have done about 35%, and that damage is pretty important. Basically, it stops him from setting up Calm Minds, most importantly. And I also want him to be at around 65-70% before I go into Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan Crunch does about 50%, and if I just go for a Crunch while he's at full, he doesn't really lose anything from switching out, as he can still heal up on everything bar the Deoxys and the Kangaskhan. So I want to be able to stop him from being able to heal up on anything when he comes in if I get a hit off on Kangaskhan, but unfortunately not. He goes for the Calm Mind here as I just pursued. I expected, I was hoping basically that he would want to switch there, as he would be threatened out by the Metagross regardless, but he just wants to set up, and then I go for a Crunch. He's at +2 now, which is really unfortunate. It means that he does enough damage for me to be in range of the Rocky Helmet chip from the Bulu that comes in now. So I do lose my Kangaskhan here. It really sucks that that miss happened earlier, but it is what it is. I go into Roserade here to put on the pressure, and predicting the switch into Aerodactyl or Latias, I just go for the Sleep Powder. And here I make a bit of a misplay. I shouldn't have really Leaf Stormed there. I put myself in a position where Latias can heal up if it wants to. I should have realistically gone into Metagross, as I could take whatever hit and then just hit him with Meteor Mash. Worst case scenario is he gets a first turn Wake and hits me with like a Crunch or something, but most of the time I would have been fine, and then I would have been able to still pressure the Latias from coming in so that it didn't get free recovery. But instead I do make the misplay here, and then when he goes into Latias, I make an even bigger misplay here. There was no reason for me to Sludge Bomb here. I didn't calc this damage. I should have calced it. Realistically, the play, if I were to stay in with Roserade on the Aerodactyl, was to Sleep Powder here, and then I could go for the 2 KO. But I didn't do that. I just Sludge Bombed and gave him free recovery, and then afterwards I swapped out into Deoxys Speed to try to pressure him from setting up. He goes for the Calm Mind here, and I just let off the ICM Z. At this point he could kill me with Shadow Ball, which is what I thought he would do, but he actually roosts. It was kind of a 50-50, but I think he probably made the wrong play. His mindset here was that he wanted to preserve the Latias, and I thought that he would be more scared of the Deoxys from sweeping, because if he roosted there as I set up a nasty plot, I did kill him with the +2 Z move. So there wasn't really much purpose in roosting except for predicting me to go for that, I guess. But the Shadow Ball or Draco Meteor would have killed me at this range probably, and if it didn't, it would have at least put me in range of the Skunk Tank to kill me with Sucker Punch. So I felt like he was way more likely to attack my Deoxys speed there, but he instead roosted, which puts me in a really bad situation. I start to nasty plot here, otherwise I wouldn't be able to break through at all, and then just Ice Beam to put on the pressure. He sets up another Calm Mind, so I can't kill him with another Ice Beam. I just nasty plot to ensure that he does want to kill me, maximize the damage I'm doing here, and then he just does finally kill me with the Shadow Ball. I'm in a really bad situation as nothing can really outspeed and kill it. I go into Rose Raid now to get the Sleep Powder off, and I know Rose Raid can't really handle it, so I go into the Metagross, and he gets the first turn wake, which gives him a Shadow Ball. Really sucks if he just got one more turn. I could Meteor Mash into Bullet Punch to kill him, but he kills me off there. I go into my Blastoise to get a Toxic off, as that's the only way that I can really chip him down now. And then he just Psychics me, and I go for the Skull to try to get some chip down. As much as possible. At this point, I'm thinking that Landorus will probably be my only way of winning at this point. I go into Rose Raid now to just chip him down. I should have Sludge Bombed rather than Leaf Storm. I forgot it resisted for a second there, and it did cost me in the end. As we see here, Sludge Bomb does 9%. I would have been able to kill the Latias there. I would have still lost Rose Raid, but Latias would have gone down at least, which would have kept the Intimidate for whatever he wanted to go into, which at the bare minimum would have given me more leftovers recovery. And then he goes for the high jump kick and crits me. That's just more insult to injury. It didn't really matter in the end, because apparently he was Choice Banded. If he was Choice Scarf, Lando did win there with the Earth Power to 2 at KO, and then I outsped his entire team, assuming he didn't crit there, but he was banded, which was interesting. I think he probably underprepped a little bit for Deoxys in that sense then, but it is what it is. Hacks is unfortunate, of course. I felt like I played really badly though around the hacks. If I was playing better, I definitely could have pulled out a win regardless of the hacks. It definitely wasn't like auto lose kind of level of hacks at all. So I'm definitely disappointed in how I played that game. Looking to bounce back. Hopefully get some better game next week. Next week I'm up against Hutch, so that should definitely be an interesting one. Stay tuned for that one. See you guys next time. Peace.